Ever felt like your life was a perfectly crafted rom-com, and then suddenly the script flipped,
Oh, yeah?
leaving you dumped 3 weeks before your wedding? That's Daphne's starting point in Funny Story by Emily Henry.
Right.
And let me tell you, it's a wild ride from there.
It really is.
Today, we'll unpack the humor, the heartbreak, and the surprising depth of this book. Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This video uses AI narration to present our original book analysis.
Sounds good. So it's more than just a relatable predicament. I mean, Emily Henry, she cleverly uses that familiar rom-com setup to kind of dig into deeper anxieties, especially about what it means for women to be independent in a society that often expects them to prioritize relationships.
Okay, so Daphne is devastated.
Yeah.
She's in a tiny apartment overflowing with furniture that just screams failed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And her ex, Peter, is already flaunting his new romance with, wait for it, his best friend, Petra.
Oh, it's so cliche.
That's so good.
It's good. And that detail about the furniture, that's classic Henry. It's not just set dressing.
Right.
It's a symbol of the imbalance in their relationship.
Oh, interesting.
Daphne poured her energy into making their shared space a home.
Yeah.
While Peter, well, he just paid the bills.
Typical.
It subtly hints at Daphne's struggle with self-worth, something she'll grapple with throughout the book.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then we meet Miles, her roommate.
Yes.
Who just happens to be the ex of Petra's sister.
Of course he is.
Talk about a tangled web.
Oh, totally.
They're both nursing wounds from this whole messy breakup saga.
Yeah, their shared misery is hilarious.
It is.
And it becomes the foundation for a very unconventional friendship.
Right.
I love how Henry uses humor to highlight the absurdity of their situation, especially when they decide to attend Peter and Petra's wedding as each other's fake dates.
That's the kind of decision that screams disaster waiting to happen.
Right.
Especially when the wedding is set in a place as quirky as Waning Bay, Michigan.
Ugh, Waning Bay. It's almost like a character itself.
I was going to say.
A charming small town with a lavender farm and asparagus stand run by poker-playing librarians.
Wait, what?
I know! You can almost smell the fresh air and feel the slower pace of life.
It sounds amazing.
It does.
It's the perfect setting for Daphne to start reevaluating everything.
Exactly. It forces her and us to question the idea of a perfect life.
Yeah.
Is it the one she thought she had with Peter? Or is it something else entirely? And this is where Miles, who seems like just a heartbroken dude on the surface, starts to reveal his hidden depths.
So he's not just there for comic relief.
Not at all.
Okay.
He's an artist wrestling with past trauma, and he brings a whole other layer of complexity to the story.
I like it.
Their connection goes beyond the shared heartbreak. It becomes about vulnerability, understanding, and seeing each other for who they truly are.
And it's not just about the romance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Daphne's got a lot going on in her life beyond Miles.
Oh, absolutely.
Her relationship with her mom is super close, but her dad is a whole other story.
It's fascinating how Henry weaves these different relationships into Daphne's journey of self-discovery. Each one, even the strained one with her father, pushes her to confront her own patterns and expectations, Speaking of complex relationships, Daphne's bond with her mom,
Yeah.
It's close, supportive,
right?
But there's this undercurrent of rootlessness, a shared history of moving from place to place, always searching for something.
Yeah, almost like they're both trying to find a place to truly belong.
Right.
Not just geographically, but emotionally as well.
Exactly. And that ties back to Daphne's attraction to Miles. He represents stability, a grounded presence that she's been craving. But of course, no romance is without its hurdles. Remember Julia? Miles' free-spirited sister.
Oh, Julia. She throws a wrench into everything when she suddenly moves in. It's like, hey, things were already complicated enough. Let's add some more family drama to the mix.
Yeah. Henry uses Julia as a foil to Daphne. Julia's impulsive avoids commitment, a stark contrast to Daphne's more cautious nature.
Right. Their clashes force Daphne and Miles to confront their own insecurities and what they really want from a relationship. Yeah. And it's interesting how Julia's arrival also coincides with Daphne getting closer to her coworker, Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
They've been kind of circling each other, making judgments, but suddenly they find common ground in their heartbreak.
It's a reminder that you can find connection in the most unexpected places. Daphne and Ashley are so different, but their shared vulnerability creates a space for genuine friendship. It's another example of Henry's talent for showing how women support each other, even when they're navigating messy situations.
And then there's the whole emotional explosion at the library's readathon.
Right.
Daphne breaks down, confronts her dad about his years of absenteeism, It's a really powerful scene.
It's a culmination of everything she's been working through. The heartbreak with Peter triggered this whole self-examination, and now she's finally demanding more from the other important men in her life, her father and Miles.
Yeah, and the way Miles handles the situation with her dad is so telling. He goes to see Daphne's dad without telling her, trying to get him to show up at the readathon. It's both heartbreaking and incredibly romantic.
He understands her deepest fear that her dad will disappoint her yet again. His actions speak volumes about his character.
Yeah.
He's not just offering grand gestures. He's anticipating her needs, showing a depth of care that's really compelling.
It's in that moment that Daphne realizes she's falling in love with him, with his kindness, his understanding.
And it's not just about the romantic aspect. It's about her finally letting go of the need for her father's validation. She sees Miles's love as a reflection of her own worthiness.
Funny Story is so much more than a lighthearted romance.
Totally.
It's about finding your voice, setting boundaries, and forging connections that actually nourish you even after experiencing loss.
It's about recognizing your own funny story, your own journey of heartbreak, humor, and those unexpected moments of grace that change everything.
I love how Henry balances the humor and the emotional depth. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, there's room for laughter, for growth, and for happy ending that feels truly earned.
Absolutely. It's a story that stays with you, prompting you to reflect on your own relationships, your choices, and your capacity for resilience.
And speaking of endings, Daphne's decision to buy that fixer-upper cottage is such a powerful symbol of her independence.
It's a statement. She's creating her own space, defining her future on her own terms. And of course, Miles is there, ready to help her build that future, literally and figuratively.
Their final conversation is both heartwarming and hilarious. They acknowledge their differences, but they also celebrate their love for each other. It's about accepting flaws and embracing the messy beauty of real relationships.
It's also worth noting Daphne's reconciliation with her mother. They have this beautiful conversation about finding joy in the simple things, even when life is uncertain. It highlights the importance of cherishing those moments of connection.
And the book ends with Daphne hosting a housewarming party, surrounded by her chosen family, Ashley, Julia, even Miles' friend Gil. It's a heartwarming image of belonging, something Daphne's been searching for all along.
It's a reminder that sometimes the people we choose become our anchors, our source of strength and support. And that's a powerful message, especially in a story that deals with so much loss and uncertainty.
Yeah, it really is. It's a reminder that we all have the power to rewrite our own stories, to embrace change and to find love in the most unexpected places.
It's a story about finding your people, those who see you for who you truly are and love you anyway. And for me, that's the most important message of all.
Funny Story is a must-read for anyone who's ever experienced heartbreak, self-doubt, or the feeling of being lost in life. It's a reminder that we all have the power to rewrite our own stories, to embrace change, and to find love in the most unexpected places. If you're ready for a story that will make you laugh, cry, and ultimately feel hopeful, check out Funny Story by Emily Henry. To purchase the book and support the show, please use the link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go for more insightful book discussions. We'll see you in the next deep dive.